All right, garden friends, today is Monday, April 6th, 2026, and this is the first official garden video tour of the year. I will warn you, it's going to be rough. There is still a lot of maintenance, spring maintenance that needs to be done, and recovery from things that didn't get done in the fall. But hopefully we can get it whipped into shape by middle of May, late May, hopefully at the latest. So let's just get into it. So I have moved some things around here on the side yard. I moved a couple of conifers. So this is a green giant arborvitae. We'll see if it's happy here. And repositioned a couple other things, and there's still some things that are going to be moved. You're going to notice there's a lot of empty planters. This will all be coleus, and I'm not sure about this back here, but excuse me. Also got to restraw everything because it's pretty much destroyed. Also a casualty of winter. I'm going to try and repurpose the bowl if I can. It's got a crack, but I think I could put some epoxy in that and then repurpose that. But anyway, so that needs to be cleaned up too. Also, I'm realizing today after this rain, I've got oak tree seedlings everywhere, so I need to get out here and do some weeding this week, which it's cooler, so it's a good time to do that. This right here is probably the biggest surprise. I bought this Japanese maple a year ago and was sure that I had lost it. Like, I thought it was dead the entire winter. Almost shovel pruned it. I'm really glad I didn't. But it has come back beautiful and full, and I'm hoping to finally actually get all of my maples in the ground in the fall. I've been waiting. I've only had this one a year. My others I've had 2 years. But just, waiting to make sure that once I put them somewhere, I want them to stay. So that's a nice thing about growing them in large containers for the first couple of years, is you can kind of figure out where the best spot is in your garden. Like initially I had this one in another part of the yard and it got scorched, even though it was not full sun. This will be a better place for it. But anyway, I'm hoping to get all of my conifers and maples actually in the ground this fall. I just have not been 100% sure where I wanted them, so I've just held off. But anyway, this maple is looking amazing, as are my other two, as you'll see in a minute. Again, all these empty pots, I'm going to be doing dipped in wine coleus and red-headed coleus like I did last year. They get massive and tall, and it'll look really pretty with the colors over here. I actually may put another Florida anise Lycium over here just to get another bit of contrast. This is actually the banana peel version, but I like the Florida version better, I think. The Florida is like a little fuller. Anyway, but everything's looking pretty good here. I was not sure if my Bobo hydrangeas made it, but they've come back. We'll see how they do this year. I think I pruned them incorrectly last year. They're panicles. So we'll see if I did it right this time with my timing and how far back I cut. I also thought that I lost my Vanderwolf pine back in the fall. Again, it probably didn't help that I got it in the heat of the summer last year. And it also did not like where it was. They're supposed to be able to take full sun, but I guess not here in Georgia. So it likes this spot here, and it has recovered. So fall, I think it's going to go on the ground here. Now, my Colorado blue spruce, which you can see is leaning just a tad. I'm going to have to restake it, but I think it's going to be moved down here to the fence area. I think it's going to go just to the left of the planter, and then I'm going to get another Florida Elysium, and then I'll fill in with Impatiens and Coleus a little bit later. Once I'm sure we are not going to have another freeze, but I will get that going and get it in the ground come fall, but I'll move it to its spot over there. Sorry, I'm having trouble with words today. This is another one of my Japanese maples. I've had this one now 2 years, and it got actually blown over yesterday at the wind, so you'll see some extra pots kind of supporting it. That's not as big of a thing in the summer, but spring and fall definitely. So yeah, I'll be ready to get these in the ground come fall. Again, I got to re-straw all of this. And I may do some type of ground cover. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, 100% sure if I'm going to keep my Camilla here. But right now I'm thinking I am. So we'll see how that goes. Again, the maple, like, it's just doubled in size since I've gotten it. It's so pretty. I love Japanese maple. These are all blood goods, by the way. It's a mess down here, so pardon the progress. We actually refilled the dirt in this because I did have a lot of settling. Even though I had used the Permatil in a lot of my raised beds, there's still just a lot of settling, even though I did all the things like sand and all that to help. So I guess that's just a struggle of raised bed gardening, and I'm okay with it. But amazingly, my Joe Pye weed is coming up. It had started coming back but didn't look good, so I just dumped a bunch more dirt in it, and I'm honestly shocked that it is coming back up, which I'm not mad about it. I do like the Joe Pye weed. It did okay last year, but again, it is a perennial, so we'll see. A lot of times perennials, I think the saying is, first year they sleep, second year they creep, and I forget what the third year is. The third year is when they're supposed to be spectacular. So this will be year 2 for these. So we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to put some red-headed coleus and dragonwing begonia here again because that looked amazing last year. See more clover. Also clover and oak seedlings have gone nuts. This is my Munstead wood rose. I pretty much have moved away from all my roses, but Munstead wood, I just can't. It will be spectacular. I have this and a couple others I did keep. So it looks pretty scrawny now, especially compared to years past, but it made it through the winter, and it will be spectacular in a few weeks once we get some consistent warmth. Plus, I need to feed it. Again, pardon progress. I'm kind of cutting back on some of my containers and then repurposing some of the others. So this is where they're at for now. So pardon, it looks like Sanford and Son of raised bed gardening. Another David Austin rose. I can't remember if this is Olivia. It's pale pink, and it's always pretty. And you can see I've got buds here. So spring is the best time for roses in Georgia before the Japanese beetles and the aphids and the thrips go nuts, because I refuse to spray. Let's see, we've got Aster coming back, as well as the Beelicious Pink Hummingbird Mint, which is gorgeous. I'm going to get more of that this year. Another butterfly bush right now, again reinforcing my maples because we've had some wind. Some penstemon, more butterfly bush. This one I've had a while. This is my Miss Golly Molly, I think, and it always gets really lush and full. That's funky fuchsia down there. I got it last year. It was really pretty. I will probably do rockin' fuchsia salvia here again. I may try a couple others in the rockin' series besides the blue suede shoes and fuchsia, but the hummingbirds love those, and honestly, that's what it's about for me here. So I had a lot of coleus over here last year. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do. I'm hoping that some of my dragon's breath celosia has reseeded. I'm kind of holding off to see, if I see any sprouts come up in the next few weeks. Sometimes it's May before they appear, so we'll see. Anyway, you can see my Japanese maple there. My weeping cedar. I actually was really concerned that I had lost this. It looked bad in February. But the weeping Atlas cedar is back, lusher, filling up than ever. And I just fed all my conifers, so hopefully, we'll get that going. I do have to relocate this. This was actually on my back deck, but I eliminated the planter that was in, so I I got to think about where I want to put that. Anyway, my constant success in the garden is always Blue Fortune hummingbird mint. It's very hardy here, wherever you grow it, whatever you put it in, whether it's the ground or a container. So these are coming back nicely, and these will be spectacular in a few more weeks. And they bloom. There's a very long bloom life, and if you cut them back around the end of June, beginning of July, you'll get another nice flush to carry you through to the fall. So again, I'm not 100% sure. I felt like I had mixed feelings. Part of me loved how I had this last year because it was very lush and full, but it was also a little busy. So I'm going to rethink that. The other thing too I got to keep in mind is that I do plan to get all of my conifers and maples in the ground come fall, because it's time. So, that also kind of impacts placement and design. So, that's the nice thing about raised bed gardening is, you can kind of experiment and maybe get on a path to something that's a little bit more permanent. But overall, everything came through pretty good on this side of the garden. I was pretty pleased. All right, so let's go over here. This is also a hot mess. I did not think my beautyberry had made it, but it did. And again, I'm going to get it. I bought it late in the season last year. So I want to kind of get some good growth on it and get this in the ground come fall. This will be really pretty. And as the name implies, it has beautiful little plum berries. And I'm looking to get this in a permanent spot so it can get big and lush. This is another Bobo hydrangea. Again, I was not sure if that had made it or not, but it did. Wallerton Old Hall David Austin Rose. And then I always forget the name of this one, but I have two of them. They're red. Oh, I see there's buds on that one too. I have one on my back deck also. The one on the back deck actually is a little more robust, but they are red, gorgeous, fragrant, and they bloom nonstop through the summer. And I forget the name. I always forget. If I think of it, I'll put it in the description. But you'll notice this looks somewhat different from the last time you saw this garden. I do have my little bevy of baby butterfly bushes here, still kind of growing. Hopefully, after this year, I'll be able to separate them and get them again in a permanent spot. But for now, I still have my Forever Goldie here, which looks a little beat up from the winter, but it's coming out. I moved my one of my Snow Sprite cedars over here. I actually have another one. And I have, for real, got to get the leader trained up on this one. Now, you will notice a lot of the pots are gone. I really want to make this look more naturalized. So, I just repurposed all the dirt that I had in a lot of the pots that I've emptied. And I'm actually going to bring in some more and some compost. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to plant here. I think it'll be a combination perennial annual bed, but again, I need to be thoughtful about the placement so I don't make more work for myself. I will put more rockin' salvia here. This is double play doozy. These did look really good, and then we had a late hard freeze in March, so both of them got nipped a little bit, but hopefully we'll have blooms soon. Black Knight butterfly bush and strawberry vanilla hydrangea, which was really pretty last year. I do have some sedum coming up that I didn't think had made it. I was hoping some of my tender salvias would overwinter, but they did not. So I have to kind of rethink that. Yeah, I love salvia because it's gorgeous and hummingbirds love it, but a lot of times it's not very cold hardy, or at least the varieties that I like. Even though we're 8A here, it just isn't. The other big change you might notice is that my Carolina cedar, or cypress, excuse me, not cedar, cypress, has weathered a lot this winter. I did not know when I bought these. It's a very soft wood. I want to try and keep it. We took it out of the container and put it into this to give it more room. But it's been a struggle even through the spring or late winter spring to keep it up because it just wants to flop. And I've tried a variety of ways of staking it. Clearly none are the right one, but it is standing up. It is growing. I haven't killed it. So hopefully now that it's in its bigger space, the roots will get settled in, and hopefully, it's going to thrive. I think they're gorgeous cypresses. Every time I see one, I want to get another one. But they are very susceptible to wind damage, apparently. I probably should have researched that before I bought it, but it was just so pretty. So we'll see. But right now it's doing good. I think that's Midnight Pearls Penstemon. That was incredible last year, and it is taking off, so that's good. I already have my fountain hooked up, which is great. This is year 3 for the Pink Cascade 2 butterfly bushes. Favorite butterfly bush, hands down. Although I like the lavender too, but the pink's my favorite. I had a bunch of salvia in here. I was amazed that my honeysuckle overwintered, because I did not think that this was a perennial version, but apparently it is. So I moved, this was actually over there. I moved my little trellis here, and as you can see, the honeysuckle is taking off. I've also thought about getting some purple bean vine, because I saw a fellow gardener growing that in Houston. And it will grow here, and I think that would definitely have a wow factor. Plus it will be a hummingbird magnet. So I think I'm about to order some seeds off somebody that's pretty reputable from Etsy. Okay, I'm talking way too much. Again, pretty much everything made it that I thought would, for the most part. The main thing that I lost was almost all of my queen nectarine hummingbird mint. And for the life of me, I do not know what happened. I have not been able to pinpoint a wind pattern or a location. It's been all of it, no matter where I had planted. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad winter. I also, unfortunately, lost a lot of my blue boa hummingbird mint. So I will be ordering more hummingbird mint, but I'm going to be kind of rethinking quantities of certain varieties, because it's just not fun to replant things that are supposed to be hardy perennials. Again, the fountain is up and running. The new pump that I got last summer is, knock on wood, still working. I did lose 2 of my Crimson Fire loropetalums, and I don't know if the other 2 are going to make it. This one is coming back nicely. My Kentucky switchgrass, my Mountain Fire Pieris. This is year 3, and it is definitely taken off. Unfortunately, my other one struggled all last summer, so I shovel pruned it this spring, sadly. But this one is looking great. I think the other one was getting too much water coming off the roof, so we'll see. The banana peel Elysiums look terrible right now, but give them another month, they'll be fine. They were like this last year too, so I'm not worried. That once they get over their winter burn and all the new growth, they're beautiful, and I love them. Let's see. I have a couple empty pots, because again, I'm hoping my Dragon's Breath Celosia, which is for sure in my top 3 flowers, hoping that that's going to reseed, and that I don't have to wait until June to go buy some. My Limelight hydrangeas coming back. I also have a couple of smooth hydrangeas that I bought midsummer that I thought I had lost, but they are coming back. I have some Arctic salvia here. It's looking kind of rough. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. I do need to pull up the dead rockin' salvia. I thought that one was going to make it, and it did not. Also, while I'm here, you can kind of get a little bit better view of my tree and my very sophisticated staking system. This bed, I'm going to completely redo. I'm probably going to move this David Austin rose. It's called Bring Me Sunshine. The blooms are incredible, so that will be a keeper. But I do need, as you can see, to get some more dirt in on this side. I lost all of my Blue Fortune that was here. I can't really feel too bad about it, because honestly, I wasn't even sure how well it would do here. I planted it here just as an experiment. Only one made it, and I transplanted it somewhere else. So I do need to get some dirt and repot this and bring this up. But I'm probably I don't know. I think I am going to do unplugged salvia and potato vine in this. And then I'm going to do the same coleus in these 2 barrel planters that I did last year, because I think that will complement the Japanese maples. I see something. Oh, I guess I had a little damage here from a storm to one of my lights. Let me move over this way so you can see. So these 2 Japanese maples, this is Crimson Queen, and she is gorgeous. I bought these a year and a half ago, like late summer, late fall, on clearance at Pikes. They looked horrible. I honestly didn't even know if they were going to make it. But it was a good price. So this is, you know, they've made it through 2 winters now, and they're doing well. Again, I've kept them in pots partly to baby them, but also, again, because I was not 100% sure where I wanted them to go permanently. Kind of what I'm debating right now is I really would like for them to go here, but, you know, we've got competing tree roots, so I'm not really 100% sure about that. But again, that's not something I have to decide now, but one way or the other, this is where I want these, I think. Again, I'm going to do the moon dust coleus. I got a weed. The oak seedlings have just like exploded overnight. Again, this is my other maple. This is the red dragon lace leaf. And this was the one in particular that really struggled. It was on the other side of the yard. I just don't think that was necessarily the best fit. Maybe too much harsh afternoon sun. So anyway, it just all looks really horrible right now, but I know in a couple of months when I get everything planted in and I get everything remulched and repine strawed, it's going to be quite a transformation. So this is just the time of the year you're anxious because you want to do everything at one time. All right, getting back to over here. The Arctic salvias, I had a red one, which I've had for 6 years. I think the hard freeze in March got it, which actually surprised me. I'm not sure that I'm going to continue doing Arctic salvias. I've tried a couple of colors. If I do, I'm going to do the red. Nice little water. But everything else is on track. Gosh, freaking seedlings. This is giant Rebecca, so this will be tall and pretty. Blue Fortune, hopefully Dragon's Breast Celosia. I'm going to do Impatience, I think, this year. I did Coleus in here. Not to say that I might not, but if I do, I'm going to do the dipped in wine. I'm not going to do the Sedona again. There's a couple other varieties that I get from Select Seeds, Coleus, that I really like. So hopefully they won't sell out before I'm ready to order. This is another Incredible. Yeah, blush. And hopefully this one's going to do well. Again, I was a little worried about it at the end of the winter, but it has come on strong. And it looks like I've got a lot of good new growth coming on. Again, not sure if this Laura Petalum's going to make it. We're going to try. This is my more vigorous Snow Sprite cedar. It's looking good. We'll see how this Arctic salvia does. Pugster Blue, that's going to get moved, as is that. This was a big shock to me. I thought that my Royal Raspberry Hummingbird Mint was impervious. I have lost one. I know there's a Blue Fortune in here. I'm not sure about the other, so I'll be having to go back and add. I do like Royal Raspberry. The hummingbirds love it. So that's another thing to order. Again, I'm going to do some weeding. I'll probably put Rockin' Fuchsia or Black and Blue in here too, just because the hummingbirds like it. And this was really butterfly and hummingbird central last year. I mean, there were areas on the other side that they liked a lot, but this was phenomenal if you look back at any of my videos from last year. So I have another pink cascade coming back. It looked a little rough But it seems to be on the mend. I still may cut back a little bit more, but I want to get some more growth before I decide to, go after this. This is the one I've had the longest. And it was also looking rough. I think this winter was hard on my butterfly bushes. But it looks like it's coming back. If I could only have one butterfly bush, I definitely would do the pink cascade. Oh, hummingbirds are out here, sorry. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of a mess out here. This has historically, I've had this 6 years now. I will say I'm a little worried because it's not coming back quite as vigorous as it normally would be at this time. This is Queen Nectarine, some type of, not a hibiscus, but Rose of Sharon, and then Blue Fortune, and then sometimes there's a mystery salvia in here. I have never seen this pot look this bad at this point in the year, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Lost all my Queen Nectarine here, as well as other places, but the Blue Fortune and a different variety of Rose of Sharon is coming back. Fat Albert is looking luscious, lots of new growth and candles. He is going to get a permanent home this fall too, and it's going to be right there. I think he's happy there. So he'll go get planted this fall. This pot is empty. Again, I'm hoping Dragon's Breath Celosia reseeded. We'll find out soon enough. Things are looking pretty good here. Probably not to you, but to me. I have a Pugster butterfly bush, and then the candy, whatever. It's coming back. Some Rebecca, Purple Haze, Hummingbird Mint. It's all looking good. This Forever Goldie has really done well this winter. It's also going to go in the ground, and I'm going to get it closer to Fat Albert. But I think those two textures and colors look really nice together. This was my Arctic Red Salvia. There's some rose in here. I'm not sure what. A little bit of the salvia left, but it's pretty rough. I may just try to dig it up and repot it, and maybe some fresh soil will invigorate it because it could use it. Now, here is another surprise. This is one of my proven winners, hibiscus. And the name escapes me right now, but if you look at my videos last year, it's huge and hot pink and gorgeous. It has never, ever started. This is like year 3 or 4 for me. It has never started growing this early. Usually it's May. It'll look dead, and then May comes, and then it starts, and then, it's usually blooming in June. I am shocked. And honestly, I did not water this a lot. They do like a lot of water. If you grow this type of hibiscus, which it's fine, and it will get massive. And it would do even better if I got it in the ground. Again, this is another one I think I may try to get in the ground this fall. We'll see. But yeah, I'm amazed that it's already growing like this. So that's a good omen, I think. This is Purple Cascade. Did not do good the first year. Did much better last year. I'm sure it will be spectacular this year. Some more Rebecca. This is some type of penstemon. It's like a cross between a penstemon and a hummingbird mint. It was real pretty last year, but I do not remember the name right now. Some sedum that I got at Pike's a couple years ago. It always amazes me that it thrives in this old wheelbarrow. Another hydrangea. I had a limelight over there. This is, I forget what this is. Little Lime Punch, I think. And then you can see this bed, which I'm a little concerned because it looks a little warpy. I had Suncredibles and Pineapple Salvia and Rockin' Purple Fuchsia in it. And it looked great until about the end of June, and then I really don't know what happened. It did get really hot. I kept everything watered. I think I had too many things in the planter. I think the Pineapple Salvia was very aggressive, and I love it, but it does not bloom until fall, and it looks beautiful, but you know, I grow it for the hummingbirds, and by the time it blooms, they're gone. So I think that was probably a mistake, a planting mistake. And I think the purple fuchsia needed more sun. I feel like the rockin' blue and rockin' fuchsia can take more partial sun, but the purple I think needs full sun to really thrive, and this just doesn't get enough. So again, I'm thinking maybe unplugged salvia and potato vine here, but again, I'm not sure. I might possibly do more Blue Fortune and Gina phlox, because I was very pleased with Gina last year, and that has come back in my middle garden. So let's go look at that real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. Again, everything looks horribly rough, so please forgive. I had some Rebecca here. For whatever reason, this did not make it. And obviously some varieties are hardier than others. But I have some other forms of Rebecca coming back. This is the Gina phlox. I did have some blue boa hummingbird mint. Oh, yeah, it made it. It's right here. The butterflies love that. So I think my plan for this is some rockin' fuchsia, some rockin' black and blue, some more Gina phlox, and some more blue boa. And kind of just make this hummingbird central. And I might try the bean vine on this too. I've never grown it, but after seeing somebody grow it in Houston, I'm kind of intrigued to give it a try and see, what happens. This is more of the penstemon, onyx and pearls, I think is what this is. And I planted it late last year, but it came through the winter pretty nicely. So that's looking good. I had a ton of coleus over here last year. I loved it. It looked amazing. I don't know if that's what I'll do again, though. I like having lots of things that the pollinators like, but I also like having, huge banks of color from the annuals. So the jury is still out on that. I could do coleus here, and it really probably be fine because I have plenty of hummingbird mint elsewhere. This was another surprise. I lost all of my hummingbird mint here. Rosy Posy and Queen Nectarine, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I have to think about that. All right, well, that is the end of the tour. We're coated in pollen right now. I've gotten a lot done in the last month, but there's still a lot to do. I still need to finish some final leaf cleanup. I need to redo all of my pine straw. It looks terrible. I should have done it last year, and I didn't. I need to do all my pine straw, fix all this, get it looking nice and tidy again. I would like to do a little rock path, maybe like some square rocks here. We'll see. Always lots of big ideas. So it's a diamond in the rough. Overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how things are. I'm really sad I lost a lot of my Queen Nectarine and my Blue Boa hummingbird mint. I am hoping that all of my Dragon's Breath reseeded, because it did last year and it was just incredible. But overall, given that we did have a pretty cold winter, we had a lot of cold days, I'm thankful I did not lose more than what I did, especially growing in raised beds. The good thing is that it gives you a chance to evaluate and reflect and really, again, continue your journey of your garden and thinking about, what you want to do with it and how you want it to be, and, different purposes, with your flower gardens. So I'm excited to, again, try new things because that's how you learn. And very thankful, again, that a lot of my plants made it that I was a little concerned about, especially things like my maples and conifers. Hopefully moving all of those into their permanent homes this fall after kind of testing this out for 2 years will be just as successful. Again, desperately need to pine straw and mulch. And I am excited about doing this kind of no-dig garden, if you will. I may do one additional no-dig garden somewhere in this, especially if I decide to if I decide to move that Loropetalum, which I may very well do. So that also brings a lot of possibility. And then just trying to really evaluate which salvias. I mean, I know I'll do the annuals, like the Rockin' series, because you can never go wrong with them, and I want to try the Unplugged. But I had some other varieties last year that I think I do want to get again, just because they're really pretty, even though I know they'll never make it. Oh, one thing I should mention, I'm going to extend the no-dig garden out to here, so it'll be sort of I guess like a elliptical. Again, it's a hot mess right now, but I think, give me talk till end of May, end of June, and things will be, I think, looking just as good as last year, if not better, hopefully. So, thank you if you've stuck around this long for the garden tour, and hopefully when I check in a few weeks, there will be some new additions and some progress and some more cleanup going on. I hope that everybody's having a good and safe spring wherever you're at, and that your garden fared well through the winter, and that your spring plans are underway. Take care, everybody, and peace out.